Welcome back to another edition of the Lazy Bodybuilding Chef. I admit I look rough right now, but sometimes in life you're holding it together, right? You're doing a lot, and that's me right now. I'll be honest, half my kitchen's a mess, and that's okay, because this is all I could do to get out of bed this morning, shower, feed my dog, and now I need to feed myself. Let's be honest here. Bodybuilding is hard. Not just physically, because you have to go to the gym and do cardio, but mentally, because you got to weigh all your food. It doesn't take the enjoyment out of food, but it is not easy. It's an extra step to look and feel a certain way. Would I say bodybuilding is for everybody? No. Would I say you could do bodybuilding? Yes, for sure. Just know you got to be very strict. Now, I'm in the point of my show, my prep, I guess you will, because I just went back on prep again, is I took some time, not really off, but I went back into maintenance calories for a while. So I was at over 1,900, almost 2,000 calories. And I put on some body fat, which is fine, because that's going to happen within 2 or 3 weeks, because I moved my show. I was originally like less than 3 months out. Now I am almost 4 months out, because I moved it from November to January. Now I still have muscle, but I want to lose, or I still have body fat, but I still want to lose more. Obviously, I want to tone up my midsection. I have goals, and that's cool. But I want to be honest with you, because a lot of bodybuilders are just like, oh, this is what I eat in a day. It's so easy. Maybe, and it really can be easy per se, but it takes a lot of time. You gotta weigh everything. You can portion it out, and you can meal prep, but for me, I don't like eating the same exact thing every single day. I like to change my fruits, my vegetables, even my carb sources. Sometimes I don't always want potatoes or rice. Sometimes I want sourdough or fruit or whatever else, pasta. But unfortunately, there are a lot of carb sources that are just really high calorically dense. So like the Barilla protein pasta, for like not even 100 grams, it's a lot of calories. So right now in a caloric deficit, that's not one of the best options. So you want food that's going to fill you up volume wise, which is probably going to be more fiber foods like vegetables, fruits, some potatoes and root vegetables that are a little bit higher in carbs, but they're also higher in fiber. And I'm eating a lot of vegetables as well, and I genuinely do love vegetables. But I also love making food look and taste good. I can't just eat mush on a plate. That makes me disgusted. And that happens. It's funny. I was just talking to my friend, and they went into the egg ick, which happens for a lot of bodybuilders, because you're eating eggs all the time because they're, great in protein. If you're doing egg whites, it's like 0 fat. So you eat it all the time, you might not like it anymore. If you eat oatmeal every single day, you might just not like it anymore. That's fine too. Some people can do that and eat everything the same every day, but I can't. I like to mix it up. So I want to show you what I'm going to do today. I'm going to make an omelet. My pan's a little crusty because I just used it to make my dog an egg, because she gets an egg every morning. So let's get into it. Thank you for joining me. I'm just being real. I'm just going to be real with you, because that's what I should do. The life of a bodybuilder. All right, so I'm being so lazy right now. My pan looks disgusting, but I sprayed it, so just bear with me. All right, so I tarred it out. Now it's at 0 grams. So I cut up my mushrooms and my asparagus. So I'm going to do the mushrooms first. Okay, so here's a hack for you, because again, I like to eat different things, and I don't like to eat the same thing all the time. So I zeroed it out again after I put the mushrooms in it, and then add in the asparagus. Yes. So then, one fell out. R.I.P. So that is 23.9. Sometimes it changes. And then we're going to cook this now. So, again, the lazy bodybuilder's way to a healthy omelet. Now, that's going to start to simmer. And, it's kind of weird. I put some nonstick spray. I like this one. Got it at Target. It's coconut oil. 0 calories if you just do like a little spray. But I do water so it doesn't like overcook, and then I'll spray this on top of it again. But I already weighed out my egg mixture right here. Now, it's lumpy, so you're like, what are those lumps? It's already pre-cooked chicken, all right? Again, I'm being very, very lazy today, but I already weighed out my egg. I did some egg whites on top of that, and then I added my chicken breast in here, and then I added seasoning. So this is gonna go on top of all of this once it is cooked down. So now we wait. Now, another hack you could do is put a little bone broth onto this, because for a whole cup, it's only 40 calories. But right now, I'm not really doing that just because it's still extra calories. And if I do, I'd want to weigh it out, and it's just an extra step. But that's another hack. You could use chicken broth or bone broth to help things not stick instead of water, and it also adds more flavor. And if you can see, there's some protein in it, but you know, obviously if you're going to use that for something like this, it's going to probably cook out. So this is more like if you're going to do a soup, but it's an awesome alternative, and it does make things taste delicious. Now while we wait, I'm going to show you, if my phone would cooperate, stay. I'm going to show you another way to use leftovers. So it doesn't look like much because I had it in a roast mixture, but food does not go to waste in my house, especially when you're on a budget and a bodybuilding diet. It looks disgusting, maybe, but it tastes amazing, okay? It's just because there was like juices and stuff on top of it. But it's carrots, onions, and sweet potato. And this is my carb source for this morning, and it's gonna go on the side of my omelet. Stay with me. I could put it in the omelet, but here's the thing. This is already really cooked. And texturally wise, that's gonna be kind of soggy. So if you're gonna do that on an omelet, because it has a lot of moisture in it, it might make it kind of soggy and not the best texture. So I'm just gonna heat that up on the side. But leftovers are an awesome way to put in an omelet so they don't go to waste, and it adds more flavor and variety. So highly encourage that. But while I wait on my mushrooms and asparagus to cook, I'm gonna put away my dishes because we are multitasking queens, all right, and kings and people of all natures because we work hard. So here's me putting away my dishes. Okay, at this point, I don't want to add more spray because it still has a decent amount of time to cook down. It's just now getting like steamy, so I'm just gonna add a little bit of water. Which I know a lot of chefs would be like, that's horrible, but listen, it's calorie free, all right? I need calorie free options for cooking. So that's gonna do it justice for now, just to cook down. And I have all my seasonings in here, including salt and other varieties of seasonings. So I don't need to add more because I put everything but the bagel seasoning in here as well, which is quite salty. So I'm not gonna add more. I'm just gonna let this cook down a little bit more, and then we're gonna add our egg mixture on top of that. Okay, so I turned the heat down a little bit because my vegetables are cooked to the point where I can just do a little bit of spray and add in my eggy mixture on top. Again, this is the lazy bodybuilder's guide to an omelet because I'm feeling very lazy. So I did add in a few more sprays of this, and then I added everything else in, and I'm just gonna keep moving it to cook it evenly. And I turned down the heat a little bit. I'm gonna keep checking it and making sure it's cooking evenly and mixing everything around until I start seeing things to cook. So I should have filmed the flipping of the omelet because we had an unfortunate flipping experience and Prudence had to witness it, and she was not happy because it broke. And that's what happens when you're impatient. You got to be gentle when it comes to the omelet. But I will show you what it looks like because I put it back together pretty well. But unfortunately, that's what happens at cooking sometimes. Right, Prue? She agrees. Hey, it might not look like much, but it's honest work. It's fine. It's fine. You know what? I'm too hungry to care. And that's my problem. I should not wait to eat food, but here we are. Here we are. It's 11 o'clock on Sunday. And I'm not really a morning person. Like, I mean, I am, but like when it comes to breakfast, I'm just like not a huge breakfast person. So I'm a brunch galley. I eat between 10 and 12, and that's what makes me happy. But this is my light, low moisture part skim mozzarella cheese from Trader Joe's. I really like the texture and the flavor. So it's not horrible. And I'm gonna weigh it out, add it to my MyFitnessPal. Normally, when I'm on a serious cut, this would be fat-free completely, but it is pretty low fat. For 1/4 cup, it's only 2 grams of fat. So right now it's fine. Right now where I am in my fitness journey, I'm gonna accept her. And so will Prudence. We're just gonna, there we go. That ear stays up and that ear stays down, but she is a paid actor. Yes, thank you for your service, Prue. Now, we are very happy because we've already had 50 grams of protein today. Not her too, but she's had her protein too. She eats an egg every day. But we've already had 50 grams of protein, and that makes me feel happy. And honestly, like, I don't eat that many meals throughout the day. I'll have 3 or 4. What I like to do is a good sized brunch, maybe a yogurt bowl or oatmeal bowl, depending on how many calories I have. There's my pre-workout snack, and then dinner, and then maybe a yogurt bowl or a smoothie or protein shake for dessert. Like, I keep it simple, man. Really simple. Maybe a salad, but that's it. I'm so happy. I just checked my MyFitnessPal. After Prudence, sorry, we're in training. After weighing my sweet potatoes and all of my food, and I'm gonna show you the amount, the volume of food, less than 500 calories. Less than 30 grams of carb, and I love carbs. I'm team #carbs. Lower fat right now, because I'm saving it. I'm being strategic about my meals because I already know what I want for my snacky snack later, and there's some fat in it, so that's fine, and that's how we make progress. We're all about progress here. So I'm just really, really enthralled because this is going to keep me full for like 3 or 4 hours at least. And it helps cut down the food noise, because if you're eating smaller meals with less protein, less fiber, you're gonna get hungrier faster, you're gonna have more food noise, and because you're so hungry, you're probably gonna make poor choices. So my recommendation is start your day, we both agree, with some protein, okay? Maybe that's an egg, maybe that's Greek yogurt, maybe that's oatmeal with protein or a protein smoothie. There's so many options out there. But this is my favorite go-to option, especially if you have time. If you don't have much time, meal prepping might be the way to go, or something a little bit quicker, but this is what I made today. So again, I marked this down as all sweet potato because it's mostly sweet potato. There's some carrots and stuff in there, but it's mostly sweet potato. And I'm gonna drizzle, sriracha, Trader Joe's sriracha. It's literally my favorite. And this is way healthier and more delicious, I will add, than most omelets. And it's doing the job. So make bodybuilding easier. It's not that hard. It really isn't. You just have to plan it out a little bit, weigh everything out, and then eat foods that you enjoy. Right, Prudence? Prudence concurs. So we're going to eat our omelet now. Thank you, guys. Woo. Yeah. Hello, just wanted to remind you that I prefer to do macro and calorie tracking. I don't want to have a meal plan. I like to change my meals. I like to change the volume of food, and I like to listen to my hunger cues. Some days maybe I'm not super hungry, so I might have something a little bit lighter or less food, but this is something that I know that can sustain me for like 3 to 4 hours, and something that I enjoy eating. When you create better habits and you create more sustainable habits, you're going to see progress faster. So that's my advice. Also, yes, it's normal to have rolls when you're sitting down, so embrace it. It's your body. Your body is beautiful. We're all about body positivity and realness, because ain't nobody got time for fakeness out here. Nuh-uh. Also, my coffee right now is cold brew with 0 calorie stevia and fat-free milk. Just a little splash of fat-free milk, and it gets the job done. Do I miss coffee creamer? A little, but I've gotten so used to no coffee creamer that this will suffice. On a Monday through Friday, what I like to do though is a couple scoops of collagen for like 9-10 grams of protein and some of my protein powder, and then I don't even need to add milk. So that's another hack, and you'll get your protein in.